Hayward 423, Joe Minici 378. Todd, when you're ready, play.
We're back live with Todd Hayward at the table. Cannon pushed the red over the bag. I'm joined in commentary from my best mate that I never see, Dave Pitt from Melbourne.
Hey, Peter.
Okay, Dave. What's your take on the match so far, Dave?
Very interesting. Here we see a classic battle between a bit of a free-going, Joe Minici and the more conservative Todd Hayward, and the match is in the balance as you would hope at this stage with Todd, who would be at longer odds than Joe, leading at the halfway mark, and so I think we're in for some very interesting
50 in
time, over the last hour and a half.
3-cushion cannon?
I think so.
1, 2, 2 cushion cannon.
And he's just slid past that one with
most players play that as a 3-cushion, so
yeah,
they're knocking the white ball back out of balk.
That's right.
Rather than a 2-cushion.
He's left Todd with half an opportunity here. He just ran through that one a bit too much. He was trying to go off the red there.
One of our billiards experts observed to me not too long ago that we haven't seen a double balk or a safety miss in this game.
Unusual in this style of game, but it's great to see that it hasn't become a safety battle like that, and that they're both playing, reasonably attacking billiards. This is a good opportunity for Joe. He's knocked the red over the middle, and he'll now go off the white in balk, hoping to develop that within a few shots to a top of the table position. He'll just be trying to put this white out. Oh, he tried to go straight to the top. That was a very, I was just thinking he'd put it out in the middle of the table, which he will do. He has done that. Now, he's potting a red, okay.
So he's looking at maybe screwing back off this.
He's probably going to try and do this, and
I think he'll screw back to try and leave the drop cannon. This is kind of a pet shot of Joe's. I've seen him play this a lot here in Sydney. No? In off the yellow. In off the white, sorry. Not ideal.
I'm going to try and predict what Joe is going to do in advance of the shot, but here I think he's looking at the in off the red. It's a bit wide. You'll have to force that with the danger of knocking 2 balls into balk, so he really can't take that risk. He's just going to go probably fine. Fine. Yeah, fine off the white. Just push the yellow. Just push it into the corner. This is tricky. He's got to try and get in behind this white to avoid potting it. This is typical Joe Minici here. He's making the angle wider than he needs to, which is more difficult, but that angle is going to push the red around the table. He's unlucky there. He's snuck in behind the white and gone off.
He didn't play for that. He played to go to the white.
Yeah, but it's okay. He's able to develop this now. Again, he's got to try and get in behind
underneath
that white. Underneath, or perhaps wide on this one. No, he's gone under it. He's hit that beautifully.
Oh, he has left the red. Queuing a bit hampered here, but that shouldn't worry him.
He'll try and just slip it off the white if he can. If he can't, then he's got to queue over the white and pot the red, which is a difficult shot.
And he's got no angle to get in off the white coming from balk end either.
No, that's right. But yeah.
Is he playing cushion first here?
Very good call there, Peter. That was a very good call. You know Joe better than I do, but yeah, cushion first just meant that he came off the cushion a bit just to ease up the angle on the white.
Yeah, that way he could get in off the white.
He's pushed that across for a drop cannon, and if he hits this well, he's back
it's a little wide of standard, so he's going to have to play this with running side, which in this case will be left-hand side.
He's actually going to have to play this one off the top cushion because he's just left it too wide. Yep. Very slow, just gathering them beautifully. Oh, he slipped past that.
He does try and graze that outside.
Yeah, that's risky billiards. Oh, he got it.
Oh, did he?
Much we both know. Yes, the referee has given the score, and and he's just cruising along.
Oh, Roger's right there and we're
Yeah,
not.
we're not. Viewers might not be aware we're calling this off the video, not off the table. Okay, so I'd call that a lucky break for Joe, just grazing that red there. But anyway,
He does play for that.
Yeah.
That's the way he plays that one. It's one of Joe's unique pet shots.
Oh, that's a good shot. He's just barely scraped past the white there, and it's developed the red into a nice position for a short drop cannon. He'll be able to bunch these on the top cushion. Shows how much.
Oh,
that's a bit nasty, but not if he's won an Australian snooker championship. You just knock this in.
bit tougher on the shinders, but which are cut to a much tighter template than most of the billiard tables.
Not according to Ryan Thomason. Ryan reckons these are buckets.
Ryan was drilling them for anywhere. He was drilling them for anywhere. It gave us a whole new take on billiards, didn't it?
Tremendously entertaining.
Fabulous.
Watching him during the week with beautiful exhibition of what we call snilliards, which is billiards by a snooker player.
Yeah.
With the vast majority of pots.
But you know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's just nothing wrong with it. If you have that strength in your game, if you're a fabulous potter, you pot all day. If you're a fabulous safety player, you play safety all day.
That's right. And, the referee doesn't tell you, which shot to play or how to play the game.
That's right. And frankly, I think it's exciting to see.
That is. And,
to see all the variations.
As they say in golf, it's not how, it's how many.
Correct. I'm thinking of Grant Hayward from New Zealand, who's a fabulous snooker player and a very fine developing billiards player who is very, very reliable off the spot and plays to that strength. And that won him the New Zealand Open last year and year before, and full credit to him.
We're seeing a couple of very typical Joe Minici shots here. The first one was where he came off the side cushion with a thin contact and just left himself with the two balls close together in front of him. And he played the cannon to put the white behind the spot and push the red over the middle, which he did successfully. And now he's just going to work on the red for a couple of shots. And,
he has hit the lead. Well, I would have to say this match is going exactly as Todd described in the pre-match description, but he didn't tell me the end of the story. He didn't tell me who won. So it's still hanging in the balance.
It's all up for grabs. Joe's just hit the lead with this break. I shot that with strong right-hand side to come across to the left-hand side of the table. As we look at the white's actually covering the spot, so the red goes up onto the pyramid spot, and now he's played a beautiful shot. Knock the white down behind the spot and leave himself in off the red, and he'll develop this red back up over the middle to pot it and come back down again for some top of the table. It may need to play one or two losers first, but knowing Joe, it'll only be one.
Yeah, that's right.
In fact, it'll be none, because he's gone straight for the drop cannon. Yeah. I said before I was going to try and predict his shots, and I just broke that rule.
Look, it's very difficult because he does see it in his own way. And
he's actually made a bit of a hash of that, but again, with his potting skills, he's probably just going to pot this up the end. Yeah. Well, it's either or both of those shots. That's worked out well.
Yeah, it has. Just like to say hi to our old mate Robbie Foldvari, Australia's doyen of billiards players. Now not as active as he has been in the past, but he's been a great hero for many of us for a long time.
I was chatting to Robbie just towards the end of last year at an event at the RACV, and there was a group of us, including some non-billiards people, talking to him, and he said, he mentioned that late in his career he'd realised that he was gripping the cue too hard.
Really?
Yes, and I said to him,
how long did
Robbie,
that take to figure
how many
out?
world championships had you won
Three.
before you realised
Three.
before you realised you were gripping the cue too hard?
Three.
Three is the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a difficult shot.
Yeah.
Very
But
close.
he'll make it.
The balls are very close
I'll be
together.
betting on
Oh
him.
yes. The balls were very close together, and he had to play a difficult putt along the top cushion. But it's the sort of shot that Joe excels at. In fact, generally speaking, you'd have to say that difficult shots are Joe's specialty, if you like. You know,
Yeah,
he's
that's right.
extremely good
Oh,
at
he loves it.
those little
He
close
loves
shots
it.
and things that require skill and finesse.
So Robbie is in fact the only Australian to win a World Billiards Championship since the Great Walter Lindrum.
The World Professional Championship, that's right,
Indeed.
Peter.
That's right. We did have a few win some IBSFs, but not at World Professional level. These days the games are coming together, the amateurs and the professionals, and there's very little variation. You have really state-sponsored players coming from India.
Difficult shot here, just covered himself.
Two cushion
And he's
cannon
playing
off the white onto
cannon.
the red.
Oh,
Yeah.
well called, Peter. Well called, Peter, and beautifully played, Joe. He's just played that nice soft pace, didn't try to, you know, to move them too far, and now he's got to play another good shot just to develop the white.
Well, he's got a bit under that,
Just
so he's
got under
knocked
that.
the white away from the pocket a bit too
So
far.
now
hasn't
this
he?
is one of these little skinny cannons off the side cushion with side to bring it up into the red and look lovely full contact on the red. That's a good shot.
Can push red over
Yep,
the middle bag.
that looks that way to me. Now
But who
that,
knows?
now that we've both agreed, doubtless
He'll
I'll
do
do
something
something
called-
different. Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, didn't do that at
Didn't
all.
do that, but
Left the loser in the corner pocket.
yeah, this is a good position, provided the off red into the top pocket is suitable. Yeah, nice.
Okay, just a little bounce, and that's left.
Now we can
Comfortable cannon
yeah,
position.
yeah.
This is really all about the second ball contact,
It
isn't
is.
it? Where he hits
Well,
that red.
For me, Immortals it is, but Joe will be working to develop the white here, possibly even hitting it twice across to bring it down where he wants. No, he's on the more conservative route there and just playing to push them down in front of himself.
Well, I
Most
think he
un-Minici-like.
Well, I think he's become a little bit more conservative because he had a good look at the score.
Yeah, that's exactly
He
right.
was 50
yeah.
behind at the turn, and now he's 50 in front.
Yep. 98 to go, so he's just on the cusp of 100 here. Simple enough in the middle to cash the 100, or
Well, that's the mathematics, isn't it?
Oh,
50
yeah.
behind at the break
Yep.
and 50 in front
Yep.
now. Yep,
Mm.
it's got to be a ton.
yeah, nicely
Yeah,
done.
it's well done. First century to the final, but Joe's already doing 2, 3, 4, I think, in the semi-final.
That's right. And a very nice 182 in the quarters.
In the pool match, yeah, in the quarters, yes. So he's been ramping up as it travels along.
Typically, in typical Minici fashion, he can be a bit of a slow starter in tournaments like this, and he saves the good stuff till the end typically.
David, do you think the tournament suffers from the absence of some of the greats? And I guess we can't look at this tournament without thinking about Matt Bolton.
Well, undoubtedly, Peter, but nonetheless, this has been a terrific tournament. You know, there's a strong
It's been a
contingent of.
bit more even, hasn't it?
It's been very even.
Without
you know,
Matt there.
That's right. There's a lot more live chances. We've had upsets at all stages of the tournament. In the oh, he's just missed a skinny and off there. Lovely break.
Well done, lovely break, Joe.
Yeah, 112 or thereabouts.
I mean, it has to be said that Matt is currently the clear number one.
Well,
in
let's
Australia.
face it. If Matthew's here, everyone else is playing for second.
Yes. also the quarterfinals lineup was very interesting this year. There was a player D. Pitt from Melbourne
Yeah.
in an international ranking tournament. That was
Yeah, it's
very
most unusual.
impressive.
Most
Very
unusual.
impressive, Dave.
Yeah, thanks.
Well done, mate.
Managed to sneak in by qualifying in 4th position in his group. So this is a new experience for Todd in this match. He's now behind. He's been leading for most of the first session, 50 behind, and he needs to do something. He's got to do two things here. He's got to, he's got to get back level on the scoreboard, but equally as important is use up time. Keep Joe sitting down because when you're sitting down in this game, it's hard to come back when you've gone cold.
Very hard to score when you're sitting down. I've always
very difficult to score when you're sitting down. Oh, look at this. Oh, Todd nearly fluked that red there, but instead of the fluke, which would have left him in a pretty good spot, he's left the red over the hole for Joe. The white down at the top of the table. Could be expensive.
So what you're telling me is that my tactic of sitting down for most of the match probably wasn't working all that well.
That's an extraordinary shot that Joe just played. It was a soft screw that travelled 6 feet, 9 feet really. Just amazing. He's an amazing player.
We're playing on brand new Strawn's 6/8 double 130 ounce cloth, where the balls will just leap off if you hit them below centre.
Now this is an interesting scenario. The last time Joe had them in this position just at the end of the first session, he just took a tremendous swipe at them.
No,
and it looks as though he's doing this
fine.
again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there he goes again.
There he goes. Well,
this time it's worked out pretty well. He's left himself off the red. He's got the white out of balk, and you get hardly what I would call a controlled shot, but then it's Joe Minici, so he played it that way, and that's how it finished up.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, he's doing this intentionally.
Yeah. I think he's got 3 more Australian championships than the two of us put together, Peter.
That's right. And between us, we've made 100 break in this final day. Between you, me, and Joe.
That's right, exactly. That's a nice shot. He's now got both balls in front of the balk line and a variety of options as to what he could do here.
What do you play? Don't guess what Joe's going to play. What do you
For
play?
me, I'd be
in off the red.
Probably in off the red on the right hand side as we look at it.
So set
up
for
and
the
down to try and bring the red in between the white and the left hand pocket as we look at with Joe. So he'll be looking to go straight to the top. There you go. See, who would have known? Just a lovely soft cannon. Left both balls in front of them. He can push the white down, to leaving himself in off the white, to pot the red, another cannon, all sorts of options here.
No, he's gone straight to the
there we
top.
go.
Look
Once
at that.
again. How unlike Joe. Straight to the top. That's actually an outstanding,
That's a great shot.
outstanding
I mean,
shot
actually,
here.
it's a very clever shot too, because he's looks like he overhit it. If he wanted the white to just stop behind the spot, but it was in such a way that there were still plenty of options.
Lovely soft cannon with strong side to lead another cannon, and just working them down towards the top. Good billiards. Beautiful billiards.
19.
Yes, he had to get past that red, didn't he?
He's
To
just got
create
a bit too
options
far
coming back.
past there. He hasn't really...
So in off the red here, do you think?
I don't think so. It's a bit skinny. I think he might be potting this one.
You're right, or else it's the fine cannon, one or the other.
Difficult
He's
shot,
thinking
this.
about it.
He's having a good hard think. He could run through the red, but that's unlikely. Well, I think he's going to pot this strong right-hand side and come around the angles to leave cannon in off white. Yeah, and that's exactly what he's done.
Well done, got one.
Got one, first one.
Yay. Joe's been doing a lot of work with developing players here in Sydney in terms of coaching. He's just been fantastic. He gives his time freely. He just loves the game.
Oops, that's unlucky.
And he loves to show people what he knows.
That's unlucky. He's played a forcer there, forcing cannon and pot of the white. But, you know, when you hit them hard, you can't control them. That's when you hit them soft. And he is the master of hitting them soft.
Clean pot.
Nice clean pot, but he's left himself rather too far away from the red. I suspect he was trying to go up to the middle pocket there from then on.
Swinging Ryan Thomason at this point to drill this one.
Ryan Thomason just has these for breakfast.
Yeah.
So does Joe.
No worries.
You get a lovely view there of Joe's cueing. He's got a very, very straight cue action and a very, very accurate
very compact action, isn't it? Very compact.
It is a very, very accurate strike on the cue ball. I'm about to see one of those.
Holy mackerel, Minici played a safety and a very, very good one.
Yeah, but,
now we might see a safety miss. Do you want to explain that rule?
Okay, so in this situation, the player can't shoot backwards behind the balk area. So he has to go up and down the table either to play safe or to try and knock the balls away. And he's just caught the jaws there, Todd. This is not good for Todd. He's just lost the lead. He's now 80 behind, and he's left.
But that's not a foul, is it?
Well, no, that's a miss. The balls are just 2 points to the opponent, and he can play from where the balls are.
But he doesn't have the option of re-spotting them, does he?
No. It's just what used to be. It's a safety miss. You used to be able to do them more frequently, but now you can only do them in response to a double balk.
Yes. And you can no longer run a coup. You used to be able to do that too, just dump your ball into the pocket.
Yes, there was a period there in the 70s where that was used as a tactic
to limit scoring.
To limit scoring, and it was felt by the administrators that it really just led to a lot of negative billiards, and
the administrators were right.
Changed the rules in the interest of the game to remove that element and force people to be a little more attacking overall, which is good. And a big cheerio to Robbie on that one. Okay, so here's Joe. He's got
Robbie's one of the greatest safety players that you'd ever see in both billiards and snooker.
No, I was actually referring to Robbie, who was the victim of a safety attack in his first world championship as an amateur. Yeah.
Oh, what happened there?
He was.
Oh, this is not good. This is a cover here.
Yes.
Now we might see. Depends on where that red is and whether he can slip the yellow behind it. I don't think he can. He might be thinking about a masse. Joe is a very good masse player where he elevates the back end of the cue.
I don't think this shot lends itself to a masse because he's too far away from the balls. But who knows? It's Joe Minici.
Yes. No, you're right. He's going to go off three cushions
on the table here. Yeah. Oh, maybe he's going thin.
Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's on.
Yeah, maybe it is. No, we tried to pot it.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
so he did.
Tried to pot it. Yeah. No,
I mean, a lot of players play safety at that point, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would. Yeah, no, I think I've learnt my lesson here. I never make predictions, and I never will.
So what do you think Todd's going to do here, Dave?
Well, Todd will be going into the right-hand top corner off the white. He's just trying to get safety here. That's a good safety too. Yeah.
Good safety is basically getting the balls a long way from each other and a couple of them on the cushions, so that there are no options.
Yeah, difficult to know what Joe will do here. It's difficult for him to play safe, and it's not in his nature. He could play the long pot red, which is a pretty hard shot, and won't necessarily leave anything, but he might try a thin cannon off the red here. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. Huh? Oh, what a good shot that is.
What?
Slow pot the length of the table. That's a very, very good shot. Let's have another difficult one though. Oh, what a good shot that is. Thin enough. He was hard up on the cushion there. There's very little of the cue ball. Very little of the cue ball to hit there. So it's one of the hardest shots.
Line up an edge you can't see.
Yep. One of the hardest shots in the game. That a thin shot off the cushion. That's beautiful cueing.
Now, I think for all developing billiards players, they should be playing the little game we're playing and trying to predict what the shot is, because that's how you actually learn, is to look at the great players and and try and imagine what the next shot
Yeah.
is. Very difficult in billiards. More difficult by geometric progression when you talk about Joe Minici, but it's still a worthwhile exercise because it's part of the learning and thinking process.
I'll tell you a little.
When it comes with
Yes,
billiards.
indeed. I'll tell you a little story about playing off the cushion there. Jim Long, the great Victorian champion, who was runner-up in the World Amateur. Walter Lindner was watching him play, and Jim potted the red when his cue ball was hard up on the cushion. Just watch Joe play a smash cannon here. Well, no, he didn't smash it. He hit it very softly. That's a good shot. And Walter came over and said, "Oh, well done, you potted that beautifully in from under the cushion there, Jim." He said, "In fact, you played that shot as well as I do." Jim was very chuffed about that.
Yes.
And Walter said, "There's only one difference. You'll never see me there." And this is another good shot by Joe. He's just snuck around the back. He played.
I have a theory about those ones. Here's my theory. You can tell me I'm wrong. My theory is that your eye approximates what that angle is, and it goes to the cushion because you know you can get it on the way in or on the way out. So I think
That's bad luck for Todd there. Sorry to interrupt Peter, but he's just pushed the red along the top cushion, got the cannon. The red's dropped in at the last roll. He's suddenly gone from chocolates to boiled lollies, which is not the direction he needs to be going at this point of the game because he's 100 behind. And that's a nice recovery. That's a nice recovery. Hit it a little bit too hard, but I think he's entitled to do that with the difficulty of that shot. So this could develop nicely. He's got a drop cannon. Direct. Looked very wide on the monitor, but it's just the angle of the way that the table is foreshortened that gives that look. It's a bit of an illusion. Sorry, Peter, I interrupted you a moment ago.
Well, I was just saying that my theory, tell me I'm wrong, is that you see so many balls slip behind the target ball, more than I think is probable.
That's a good shot by Todd.
That's
He's
a lovely shot.
potted a difficult slow red. And he's got them in beautiful position. He can develop this towards the top of the table. Yeah.
So my theory is that your eye actually approximates, knowing that you can get the ball, if it's close to the cushion, you can get it on the way in or on the way out.
Yep.
Your eye goes to the midpoint.
Yep.
And if you hit it well, you hit the midpoint.
Yes.
So, yeah, I abbreviate that as the eye goes to the cushion.
Right, okay.
Now, maybe I'm completely mad.
I see what you're saying,
You would be the
Peter,
first one that says
but not many would.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you so much. You see what I'm saying, and you think I'm completely wrong. Okay,
No,
I can live with that.
No,
I can live with that.
I understand. This is okay.
Now that's much harder than it looks.
Yes, this looks like
It looks like a dead set.
yeah,
Cannon. It is.
It is. You can't miss.
Can't miss the cannon.
But
It's so hard to get a leave off this.
Yeah, it is. You've got to play this, a slow shot down the length of the table, or else you've got to smash it like that, and hope that you get a good leave off the red.
Yeah.
He has. He's put the red over the ball pocket. He's got the white in a reasonable
doesn't stick to
as
the
long
round.
as it's off the round. Quite right.
It only has to be a millimetre or two
Yep,
off the round.
that's right. Yeah.
But it has to be off the round.
It was a speculative shot, you could say.
It was.
Oh, that's a good shot. Yeah, that didn't look easy from where I was sitting.
Balls can hurry along, Red, hurry along. Not quite there, so I mean off into the top right pocket as we're looking at it. Oh no, we'd have the yellow level a bit.
Yep. He's
that's
just
gone
buried
wrong.
that. He's buried.
That's gone wrong.
He's buried that on the side cushion. So now, fortunately, here he's got
the right angle to come around and regather the balls.
Yep. He can pump this red
come
off
off
two
three,
cushions
off two.
next to
Put it right
quite
next to
close.
it. Ooh,
Just
got the
spot.
position. Missed the,
Yeah, just went a bit wide on that one. He may have just spotted it a bit narrow.
This cloth, these chandeliers,
they do throw.
Straws cloths are
Yes,
going wider.
yeah.
So,
Joe's played an interesting shot there. He's trying to push the white the red twice across. Hasn't quite got there, so he's left himself with rather a nasty position.
Screw off the white into the red.
Well, that's
Risky.
well. He hasn't got a lot of choice. But here we go. He's playing another typical Minici shot, screwing off into the top pocket. You would think. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful shot.
That's a long
And he's hit that very softly. It's only travelled, once, 1.5 times across the table. It's a very good shot.
Very good
Typical of the class of shot at which Joe excels. He gave that one a good ride, didn't he?
Settle down, Red. Settle down.
7.
Sometimes you need a bit of what we call body English to make the balls go where you want.
Did you
Joe
talk to the
certainly
balls, Dave?
had plenty of them. Well, everybody talks to the walls. It's only a question of whether it's under your breath or out aloud.
You know they're made in Belgium. Do you speak Flemish? And there's no point unless you speak Flemish.
Well, no, they speak French and Flemish in Belgium,
That's true.
Peter, so it
But
depends.
these are made in the Flemish section.
Are
of
they?
Belgium,
Okay,
so-
right. I think he's going to go right around the table here, Joe.
Yeah.
He's hit
Fork
that-
line crossed,
Yeah,
Dave.
that's
Fork line crossed.
indeed. That didn't work out very well because he's essentially buried himself here. Bit
Yeah.
too straight to follow through the white, I think. Well, I wouldn't. No, he's going to play this. This will be a good shot. They're very straight.
Pardon, what?
Well, that
Who saw that coming?
exactly. That's most unusual for Joe. It just shows.
No, he's left 3-6-9.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just
no,
putting
it's
it
in
up
different-
straight into balk, and he's now
Okay.
playing conservatively. He's
Playing
still only
conservatively.
around about 100 in front.
Now he's pushed that into balk because he
Around
can now
about
make a safety
he
miss
can make a
without
safety
penalty.
miss. Correct.
So because that ball
Yep.
is in balk, he's not required to hit it. And Todd can't really spot the ball. So while Joe concedes 2 points, you can see now the dilemma that he's left Todd. Todd is going to have to move that
Yes,
because it's in a
absolutely.
bottom position.
Yep.
So he's going to have to come off several cushions. And
Oh,
try
he's
and
done that beautifully.
shift
Oh,
that,
but he was unlucky.
unlucky.
Hit
He's
the
left
red
it,
full.
so-
Should have knocked that out of balk, but it
Yeah.
double kissed and sat there nicely for Joe. That could be a turning point in this match.
Well, yes. And
2.
That's what he played. He
Is it?
thought he played the pot.
I thought he played
Well,
the pot.
I'm sure he played the cannon. Was just hoping to
He
jaw the red, which he did, and leave it there. But he can get in off this. This is Joe Minici, don't forget. Screw in off with right hand side. Did I say right hand side? Yes. He just hit that a bit thin.
Oh, I noticed Todd's shoulders dropped as he walked back to the chair there. I hope that isn't a sign of resignation.
Well, I don't think it should be because Joe has let him back in here. One good pot.
Yeah.
And
99 in at this stage.
That's right. One.
Oh, thank you,
okay.
Jesus.
Okay. He's not out of the woods. That was a lucky shot, and now he's got to play a good shot to recover these.
So what's he play
A
here?
couple of options here. Pop the red and come over to the
Okay.
right-hand side to leave it in off the white, or play a thin cannon up and down the table like this. That's a nice shot. But he might
Coming
just slip
off
around the
three.
back here.
No,
He's just hit it nicely. Yep. Couple of options here again, but he's got a cannon in front of him. Push the red down over the pocket. Ooh, yes, that's a nice shot.
7.
That's a nice shot. Just may have left the white out of balk here. Hard to see from here. It looks as though that the yellow could be just outside balk, which means he can work around and get to that soon.
We'll have an angle up this end of the table to play in off that as well.
You know what?
So take a couple of pots, run through, leave the half ball in off, and red's then on the centre spot of the table.
Yep. He's having a look at the yellow. The other option he's got here is to pot the red and then leave himself and then off the white into the balk pocket. Off the yellow, I mean, into the balk pocket. And he's had
Didn't
2
trust
bob each
himself
way
on that.
there.
Didn't trust himself on
He's
that.
had 2 bob each way. He's left
He can
himself
still
that
force
shot.
this one,
Or-
so
or
if he
pot
hits
the
it
red.
hard, it'll throw wider off that yellow and make it into the ball pocket, or pot the red and leave a half ball in off on the other side of the table.
Critical juncture this Todd
Yep.
needs to do something. He needs to make a break and get back into this game.
Well,
That's a
I
nice
didn't
shot.
see that one, but that's a
Yeah, that's a
beauty.
good shot.
That allows him to play this red with more control now.
Yep. So he will be going in off the red, up and down the table, and try to put it near the yellow. Yeah, he's done that.
2.
Come closer.
And I think that yellow's out of pork, so he can play a cannon from the
We're
yellow
about
to
to
the
find out.
from the yellow to the
you're right.
to the red.
I think you're right. That's gone a bit wrong. So left with a difficult red pot here.
Yeah, not too difficult. He's got a good look at it, and he's a good cue. Still playing the run through cannon. There you go. I think I ought to sack this commentary team and get some people who know something about billiards.
No bloody idea. What we really need is the live brain feed from Minici and Hayward.
Yeah, that's right. Oh dear.
Have we got that technology?
No comment. Possibly not.
I'm still working on the live brain feed from my own brain.
Oh, nice shot.
Oh, yeah.
Controlled stun into the middle there from Joe. That's a
Really,
very nice shot.
Really difficult
and
shot
difficult
to judge that angle.
Yeah, and he's almost been able to hold that shot back sufficiently to leave the red over the middle. It's just gone about 6 inches too far. A real touch shot, that one. Okay, here we go. Two cushion cannon. And he's just slid past it. There's a few...
We're very good at commentating which shot he's going to play after he's hit it, don't you think? I find I'm really good at that.
Easy from up here, Peter.
Side. Not enough side. Well, it's bogged down a little now.
It has, yeah.
They're not scoring in a very free-flowing fashion.
Oh, Joe's pushed that up very close to the balk line. I think that's just slipped into balk. So I think a little bit of tension creeping into this game and creeping into the cue.
I mean, this is a major championship.
Creeping into the cue arms of the players. Yeah.
This is the international event for our section of the world, Oceania, which covers 4 affiliated IBSF nations: Fiji, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand and Australia.
Difficult short-chenny miss there by Joe.
And I'm reliably informed now the Solomon Islands.
Oh, yes.
Welcome aboard the Solomon Islands. Bulla, or whatever it is we say over in the Solomon Islands. So,
oh, look at this. This is a nice shot, but he's overcooked it. So this is most unusual. We've seen 4 or 5 misses in a row here. With this
in the open.
Yeah, this is in the open. So, you know, with players of this quality, it's very rare to see that. Nice
screwing off there.
Yeah, Joe, one of his absolute strengths. But he's played it real now. Both balls in the open. He's in a great position. He can do whatever he likes. Take the long one, take the short one.
Chewing furiously on his nicotine gum there. Oh, that's just a snatch from Joe. He got down and played that very quickly. This is just tension.
Yeah.
Both of these players can play better than this, but it's amazing what tension does in the arm. This is a game which is entirely based on muscle memory. That's
a good shot.
For Todd.
That's a very good shot from Todd. He would like the white to have finished better, but he couldn't ask for anything better on the yellow. Thanks, better. He couldn't have asked for anything better on the red.
Yeah. Oh, that's tension. That's just tension.
He could have asked for something better on the red. Asked for it to be right over the hole.
Yeah, except that you and I both thought he was going to play the in off.
Yeah, I did think that. Maybe that was a bit difficult. Good pot, Joe.
Good pot. White's down near the spot, so the next score is relatively easy. What from here? Who knows? not good. Cannon off the white side cushion down to the red.
Probably play this off 2 cushions, Joe, just to make sure he doesn't. It's made of.
Shut.
Machado. Good shot. Yeah.
He's played all the way up there so that he can sit on the half ball line. The half ball line runs from the middle pocket to the billiard spot and into the opposite corner pocket. That's the path that the cue ball travels. And it's a classic lead in billiards is to simply sit one of those standard half ball lines.
Straight to the top here if I'm really judge.
You're a good judge. He played this against you, I think. Played that shot where he had the option of playing off in the mid pocket several times, and then, but he doesn't see it that way. He says, I can get to the top of one, I can push that opponent's ball behind the spot, and I can leave the red in a potable position on top of the table in one shot.
Good shot with the rest there. That was a difficult enough. He would have preferred to have left the red for a pot there, but he's made a good recovery, and now a good long pot from hand, and he's back at the top of the table.
A lot of players play this with drag. Martin Pearson plays it with drag.
Interesting. Drag is backspin, and the purpose of that is to make the ball run truly down the table. These tables are new, and they're so good that Joe can trust it to just roll the ball down without drag, and he knows he'll get the same contact that he's aiming for.
Drag slows the ball down, doesn't it? It's backspin, but it's backspin that doesn't last until the contact with the target ball. And in that way you can actually hit the ball more firmly and more positively and have it hold the line rather than have it drift as a very slow shot.
So Joe's in great position here. This is his specialty, top of the table.
Yeah.
And you know, he's got a good lead, and
he's just really setting himself mentally for this.
A nice break here.
Oh, look, that's a smother first shot. Off the cushion. He should be able to recover it, but it's a smother first shot. He didn't want that. He wanted to be on the other side of the white for the contact. So, ball, cushion, ball.
That was a good shot.
That's a good shot. That second ball contact is so difficult. Everybody can make that cannon off the cushion. But to be able to leave this shot is
he did that beautifully. Held up the white ball to make sure he got on the outside of the red. Now he's gone up to
kind of no man's land there. He's not.
He's got a skinny and offer a skinny cannon, and neither of them is particularly attractive.
Doesn't look like he's playing side on this either. Plain ball. Too thin.
That was difficult.
Squeak underneath.
Yeah, difficult again. You know, another golden opportunity gone begging for Joe. You know.
Todd will be kicking himself that he's not capitalising on these mistakes. But 3 hours at the table, it's a long time, even with a break in the middle. And it's about concentration.
Good pot there, Todd, but he's left himself a little bit too far away. This one's coming off. He's gone and off there. Oh, just slid into the top jaw. Difficult shot for Joe here. Wide force off the red. He's going to hit this hard. He's hit it beautifully. And the red more or less going up and down the centre of the table in the approved fashion. A little bit unlucky there because of, oh no, on this fast cloth, that's just run far enough for him to be able to go off in the middle, I think. No, he's taking a short Jenny. This is
short Jenny. He's putting loads and loads of left-hand side on the cue ball, and that cue ball will curl into the pocket and snap in off the far jaw.
That's a very confident and aggressive shot to play there. So well done, Joe.
So white behind the spot, leave a red pot.
How did you know?
It's Joe.
Well called, Peter.
That's a
One
lovely
good
shot.
pot, and he's back from a quite unpromising position. He's back at the top of the table in 3 shots. That's really quality billiards.
Now he snuck underneath that white ball and kicked it back up towards the spot. And if you look at where the white ball is in terms of the centre line of the table, he didn't want that.
No, he hit
He
that
wanted
way
to
too
stay on.
thin.
I was about to say he
Yeah.
wanted to stay on that side.
So now he's covered the
His
spot with his own
ball
ball.
is
So
sitting
the
on the billiard spot.
red
so it's
goes onto
on
the pyramid
billiard.
spot. Yep, and he's got to thin it off the white. Yeah. This is still a good position, but it's not what he wanted.
Classic position here. He'll just go in off the red and try and leave the red around the middle bag for a pot, and that'll allow him to come down the table again for top of the table. That's what his intention is. If it doesn't go right, will still be several options.
If he leaves it short,
If he leaves it short, he's got the drop cannon. If he hits it too far, he's got the short gen.
He's hit this one beautifully.
That's perfect. So it's now red pot and back to top of the table. Joe always plays that one off the cushion. He thinks that it's more reliable to hit it firmly and come off the cushion rather than just play it dead softly and roll down. It was a stun run through, probably one of the hardest shots in snooker. The position on the cue ball that you strike is absolutely critical.
This is billiards, Peter.
I know it's billiards, but I'm saying in snooker or billiards,
Yes.
that stun run through is the most difficult shot in the ball.
Quite right.
Thank you. These Shender tables have just been gorgeous, haven't they?
They are. They're an innovation in Australia. We've only seen them in the last 3 or 4 years. They're made in China, and they're quite different to the traditional Australian tables, but they do play beautifully.
And if you look at them, the things that I think the players like are the very wide mounts for the pocket, so you can actually put a hand on top of that flat pocket area. It's a very wide rail, so you've got plenty of queuing area. You can get your hand away from the ball. That's nice too. The cushions are pretty consistent. They've been a revelation. We're playing here with the new Aramuth Gold Cup balls. In this case, they're being provided by our generous sponsor, Consolidated Sport and Leisure, who are the agents for these in our part of the world.
Indeed.
And we're very thankful to the sponsors who allow us to see top-level sport like this.
And of course, you can only see top-level sport under first-class conditions, and
Yes.
that's what we've got here, absolutely first-class playing conditions. This is just where Joe would wish to be at this stage of the game, 160 in front, and at the top of the table with 39 minutes to go, he can put this match away.
He can.
In the next 10 minutes. There's nothing that Todd can do about it if he's sitting down.
What have you thought of the Mounties Club here?
Oh, fabulous. I've never been here before, so we're out here at Mount Pritchard at the Mounties Club. They've got a beautiful billiards room with 10 tables, and for this event they've put these 3 other Shender tables here. We've had a ball here this week. Oh, Joe might have got a kick there. Is that a nice break?
They've been great supporters of Q Sports, haven't they, here at Mounties. This is undoubtedly the premier venue in Sydney for Q Sports, and been very supportive. The board of directors have been very active in terms of developing the sport within the community here too. 105,000 members at Mounties. It's like a small city. I mean, there are members of the United Nations with less members, aren't there?
Absolutely.
Less citizens.
That's an interesting thought. He's got them together nicely in the middle of the table. He can do almost anything here. He's just taken a quite simple option, just to push the 2 balls apart and leaving it off the red. And he'll be able to bring these for a...
Well, that's betwixt and between that
Yeah,
one.
it
That's not easy for Cannon.
Yeah.
The in off the white is in off the yellow is not
Nope. So
is not that easy. So he's got to play Cannon off the cushion here.
Yeah, and you can't really predict the contact on the second ball here.
And he's
hit it well.
He's hit it full,
and he's played a very good conservative shot, pushing the yellow around so that he's got both balls in front of him. That's good billiards.
Yep.
Hit that a little bit thicker on the yellow than previous shot. This is another one. He's left himself a pot red here. Opportunity to make a break and get back into this game. That's a good shot too.
This is
a little bit unlucky.
Yeah,
A little bit unlucky.
It's okay. I think he'll hit the far side of the red, the left-hand side. Oh no, just missed it.
Ran through that. Trying to go to the top.
Yeah, that's
run through that.
That normally with one ball on the pyramid spot, one ball on the billiard spot, and your own cue ball on the half ball angle is usually classical recovery of top of the table position.
Just a little bit wide. And
it was a little bit wide. He either needed to stun it or play it with a bit more side.
Here's a shot that requires good
pace. Look at this for pace.
Beautiful.
Full length of the table.
He's hit that ball 24 feet to within 2 or 3 inches of where he wanted it. That's really good billiards.
This isn't good cueing, but I was showing you yesterday the video of Joe potting the snooker colours one-handed.
Outrageous.
It's outrageous. Now he likes this shot. He likes to push that white up to just past the pink spot, and now he'll stun up after a couple of shots. He'll stun back up to that past the half ball line and make it a recovery shot. Here it comes now. There it is.
Yes, not a bad shot.
He's left it a bit short.
Play the four, so there's a danger of a collision here, putting one or both balls in. No, he's just played it that nice place. I thought that was a bit wider than that was. He's played that one all.
Now these look wide to me for the Cannon, but on these cloths, they just seem to spin wide. Look, it's too wide. He's gone.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's amazing
cloth is just
how
beautiful. There's the
you can do so much.
6-8-1 30-ounce cloth that we're using here, which is used for all the major championships. Is a beautiful, beautiful cloth. It's like playing on silk.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe.
And you can just do so much with them. Did you find you were over screwing when you were playing on this table?
It's very easy to do that, yes. Yeah.
Well, perhaps I'm looking for an excuse for the fact that I was over screwing. I was hoping that you would join me in the cesspool down there.
Joe just missed a little check side cannon off the top cushion there. Once again, he's given Todd another opportunity. And both players have had a lot of opportunities in this second session, and neither's been able to grasp it and put a stamp on this match.
Look, players at this level should be scoring in excess of 300 an hour, more if they're dominating the table. So there's still plenty of time for Todd to recover this deficit, but he's going to have to get his skates on and essentially stop missing the obvious ones.
He's left himself a difficult position here with the red on the top cushion.
Yeah, cannon off the cushion.
Not quite right enough. That looks like what he's doing. Thin shot, which he didn't quite take enough
more
care
running
on.
side on that.
Yeah,
He rushed it a bit, didn't he? Do you think
he
he's
rushed
starting
it
to
a
feel
bit.
the time pressure?
I think
This is a very, very different game, isn't it, playing to the clock? It's like that inexorable march of time is just ringing in your ears all the time. The billiards player's biological clock. He made that cannon. The red hardly moved, but he did make the cannon.
Again, difficult position.
Cannon off the... Oh, no, of course it's a pot white. What do we know?
Yeah. Just tightening it up here, Joe. He'll stick fat on this. And
when you say stick fat, he's going to just leave the yellow on that top row, push red into the ball.
Push the red into the corner. He's done that beautifully.
He doesn't want it too close to the corner because that makes it easier for Todd to get at it. the more aggressive shot is to have it in the centre of the
Yes.
balk area or away from the cushions, because Todd can get it in 4 possible ways here, off 2 different cushions.
Bit of a desperate shot there by Todd, because if he doesn't hit that red, it's a foul, and Joe
Yes.
can now spot them up should he choose to do so. I'm
Yes,
sure he
because
will.
there was a ball out of balk.
Because the ball was out of balk, so
It's actually
good tactic there.
It's a
by
good
Joe.
tactic. It's
He more or less forced Todd to do that, because the skinny cannon off the white was very difficult. But unfortunately, it didn't pay off for Todd. And
Now this would be a
goes
bread
back
and
in
butter
again.
shot for Joe on any club table that he plays on, but on this one, it is actually missable.
Just
Wriggled in.
Wriggled in off the jaw, yeah. And he's left it a bit short.
Yeah.
He's now going to have to play this cannon off the...
Or the long Jenny, I think he's playing. Long Jenny is the same thing as that spinning shot into the middle pocket, but now it's spinning into the long pocket. You can see that ball actually curling, and he's actually playing that with what we billiards players would describe as being check side, which is the opposite side to the side of the ball that you're coming off.
Spinning it into the pocket, and he's done one beautifully. He
And
really is a beautiful cue, Joe.
Yes, he is. When you're coming down the table, you have 3 things going for you with that shot. Number 1 is the ball curves in towards the side pocket. Number 2 is that it hits the pocket, the far jaw, and it snaps in. And number 3, I've got no idea about. Perhaps there are
The
only
third
2.
one is that it's almost certainly going to leave you a drop cannon.
Yes.
Peter, I'll help you out there.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for that
If you
bailout
hit-
there, mate.
If you hit it at the right pace.
Oh, that's such a clever shot.
It's a good aggressive shot by Joe.
Such a clever shot.
Worked out how he wanted, but he's got a simple enough the red here, I think. He can just leave it. Oh, just stuck
Wriggles in.
Wriggle it in, but he's left himself a short drop cannon. This is.
So he wants to really be hitting, as we look at it, the left-hand side of the white, doesn't he?
I hesitate to say this, but this is foolproof. And yeah, he's developed that straight to the top. That's a nice shot. Stun back, leaving a straight-ish red.
So does he screw to get high on this red now so he can make the cannon next?
I think he'll stun run
Doesn't look
through
like.
here. Yep, stun run through to leave himself a cannon.
Coming back the other way.
Coming back in behind the white. Ideally, he
Can he
wants to
get
get in
behind
behind
the
the
white?
white. Well, not quite behind it. Yes, he can. Not quite, yes. Still, a couple of options here for him. Little skinny cannon behind, off the cushion.
Yep, cushion first.
Likely he'll just land beautifully on it. That's a very good shot.
That's such a good shot.
And a courageous shot at this stage of the game to play such a soft shot. What's that? Good brilliance.
Well, he's nothing if not courageous.
It was and I was saying it, my old mate Jim Long, he said, David, billiards is a game of courage.
Yeah.
And you have to have the courage to play the soft shots, the short G's and so forth. But, you know, if you miss, your opponent's right in. But
If Joe was leading by 300 there, it would have been a one-handed shot.
But you're just over 200 in front now. The clock's ticking away. We're under half an hour to play, so time is starting to beat Todd's enemy. Still plenty of time for him to score those points, but
He's got to get
but
Joe
he
off the
needs-
table. Keep
yeah,
him off the
that's
table.
Right. That's the thing. He's got to start hitting with some breaks, which he hasn't been able to do in this session at all. Nice position here where he can just push the white behind the spot, develop it.
Oh, look at that. That's
Develop a
elegant.
nice contact. Left-handed.
Switches to
There he
left-handed.
goes.
Switches to left-handed.
He's very proficient with the left hand, Joe. That's a good recovery. He's got them in a nice position here. Just checking this one. beg your pardon, just running that one up to leave a cannon off the top cushion, I think.
I think you're right.
No, I don't think I am. I think he's going to screw
He's
this.
going to screw around behind the white, do you
I
think?
think so, yeah. I think he
To leave the cannon coming back to
hard
push
to
it.
tell. No, he did play it as just a bit of a stun cannon off the top cushion there.
Possibly overhit that just a fraction.
I don't think he's too worried about it. Just pot this red and lay in for the... I'm sorry, I forgot. It's Joe Minici. There's no laying in for the 9 shot when your surname's Minici.
Not when you can really hit it. Not when you can enjoy yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
That's one of the great things about watching Joe and playing with Joe is that he actually just loves the game. He just loves hitting them.
Okay, so he's gone beyond what most players would just try to leave themselves on the half ball line there, but Joe's gone up there to try and bring them back together at the top of the table, and
he's almost done.
He's very close to having done that, yes.
So you push it up again towards the pyramid spot.
Yep.
Make the red pot.
Yeah, that's good billiards.
Yep.
Keeping it steady and
Make the
safe.
red pot, and then maybe a couple of red pots, but eventually he'll be trying to get up on that half ball line to bring them back down to regather.
Exactly. He can play risk-free billiards here for at least 5 seconds.
He's gone past the line here, so that's a bit of a pity. But that was the intention. Now he's got a...
Looks like a skinny enough here, but
skinny
we'll see
enough,
what
or
happens.
check side enough.
Bit of both, I think. That's a good shot. Slow.
There it is.
Skinny enough.
Lovely control.
Yeah, pushing the white over the other side.
Just going gently promoting the ball towards the next scoreable position, isn't it, rather than bashing them.
Oh, inexplicable miss.
Just when you thought
just
it was
the
unmissable.
commentator's curse. Just as we're praising his play, he's just hit that inexplicably thin, on the thin side, missed, and again, here's Todd with a...
He was trying to slip behind that yellow in that case.
So
that he could
this is a bit
push it
wide.
towards coming
But on this fast cloth, this is an easy shot.
Wow.
Just
That really threw, didn't it?
strong left-hand side. It probably raised his butt a little bit just to get a little bit of a swerve into that ball, and it just glid into the pocket. Is there such a word, Peter, as glid? Or should I have said glided?
No, I like glid. Let's use glid.
Glid, okay. We'll stick with glid.
If it isn't a word, it should be a word. So Todd just glid that ball into the pocket there. Beautiful.
He's actually gone for the Minici
Little
option
stun
there,
cannon, yeah, that's right.
Todd, but it's worked out well.
Yeah, he's got the yellow back in the middle of the table near the billiard spot. Now he's got a red pot, red pot and he's in, red pot and he's in.
This is not an easy pot, but he's a very good steady potter, Todd. Oh, and he's hit that beautifully.
Has indeed.
Just stunned up onto the right line. And,
Now he can actually hit the outside of the yellow ball and knock it back down. No, he hasn't chosen to do that. He's played the easier one.
You can just push these around for a minute or two and do that. Ooh, too close. This is difficult. He's just a bit too close to the red here, leaving himself a difficult run
he
through.
Went the hard way there.
Oh, a very skinny pot. He might have to play this off.
Oh, he's playing a screw
back
cannon.
off there. He'll have to do this very well. Oh. Oh, he went around the back of it.
Oh. See, I went to the cushion, Dave. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
A little unlucky there. He actually hit that ball, that previous cannon, a little bit too softly. Oh, that's a nice shot. He's just
Nobody saw that shot.
Yeah, it's a nice shot. Didn't quite hit it as hard as he would have liked, but
that's okay. He can come down here and get low on it and come back up. Oh no, he doesn't want to do that either. He'll do it his way.
Yep.
I think with the difference in the scores now that Joe doesn't actually need to be wildly creative. He can run out time from here.
Ooh.
That was
Look at
reverse
that.
side
Yeah,
on the
that's
screw
right.
shot. So
Take
to
him
make it go right, he played left-hand side.
to take them up past the red. And
It's just exhibition stuff, isn't it?
very pretty shot, Joe. But,
Now, little delicate billiards.
yeah, but he's just not controlling these as he would like. He would have liked to have got a better drop on the red there, so he's only got to play a slow screw in off the red. I think with a slow screw in off. Yep.
Much harder shot than it looks.
Yeah.
Anytime the ball is wide of the half ball angle, you have to judge the point of connection and how far down on the white ball you're going to hit, and those two variables can make a world of difference. It's only years of experience that can give you a sense of feel.
Nice
for
opening
those two
pot by
variables.
Todd there, that was no snack. But unfortunately, he's left himself just too deep in the corner.
Yeah.
I don't think he can play the run through cannon here.
He's betwixt and between here. I think it's
so
got to
it's
be a
either-
thin in off red, doesn't it?
I think he has to putt the red. We'll see what happens.
You're right.
That's a good putt. Good putt cutting that back from the skinny ankle.
It's quite
Could
amazing how critical that cross loser
Yeah.
on the top rail is, where really just say 10 millimetres, half an inch in the old language of difference in
Yeah.
position makes the shot either absolutely standard or impossibly difficult. And it's because you're playing into a closed pocket. You can't see the opening of the pocket from where you queue up.
Correct. He's done quite well to recover here.
Still not
but
in
he's
prime
certainly-
position.
He's not out of the woods, no.
No, he could play through for a 3-6-9
Yeah.
sequence. Or if he's got the angle, bring it across the table again. No, 3-6-9
Played that
sequence.
nicely. Yeah, played that nicely.
So he doesn't actually have to be in the draws. He has to be on the same line though,
Yeah.
the line
There's
from
a
the
line.
corner
Correct,
to the red.
that's right. There's a nice shot here.
So 3-6,
Push that
next
up.
shot's
Yep.
9.
And off he goes. Thought he may have just dropped that one short with the red to leave himself a drop cannon, but he's got the red over the middle, which is perfectly good. And he's going out here for a cannon, and he's taking a leaf out of
that's-
Joe's book here, and
It's not pretty.
he's in trouble.
Got to, oh, now this is a very conservative option, which isn't going to lead to position at all, I wouldn't think. He's seen that shot as easier than the run through in off the yellow, which did leave position, but that was unlikely to leave good position from there.
So he's done than it looks. He's got a big ball up there with the red, and he didn't bother with it. He just went the conservative option. Well, the white.
At this stage, so Joe's looked at the score and said, okay, 230. That should be enough. All I've got to do now is put the shutters up.
Oh, what that was a good attempt.
That was a great
Good
attempt.
but
what happens from here is sometimes a little ugly. Todd becomes more and more desperate.
Yep.
Joe becomes more and more confident
Yep.
and just starts to hide
Yep.
the balls.
Yep.
There's no motivation for Joe to develop them more than he needs to. All he's got to do at this stage to win is to stop Todd from getting back to the table and scoring heavily. So he'll play the balls into very conservative positions. Or should.
oh, what
Oh,
a beautiful
what a
shot
great
that is. That's a tremendous shot. That ball was almost touching the cushion, and he's
Yes.
played that as a thick, slow screw. Tremendous cue power and accuracy required for that shot, and no one really better than Joe to play it.
Got a taste for it now, look at this.
In this tournament. Sure, Jenny, he can play his stick, bring it across the table to next to the red.
Try and hopefully keep it out of balk.
Yeah, he might have missed out on that part of it. I think it's out of book. This is the death in 2 position that Jason was referring to before.
Yes.
He's just pushed that white a little bit too far, I think. I don't know if he can get in off the white on the left-hand side. Might be able to give it a bit of a smack, but he might go over the other side. Yeah, that wasn't easy, and you saw the result.
Death in 1.
Death in 1 in that case, yeah. So the lead's now slipped out to well over 200, and the clock is ticking down to 17 minutes. Looking pretty good for Joe.
Too early to crown him champion just yet.
No.
You can score at the rate of 100 in a bit more than 6 minutes if you get them into tight position at the top of the table.
Todd would be more around 7 or 8 minutes 100.
Yes.
Just playing his normal game, and with 16 minutes left, that means he really needs to occupy.
Phone his mother and tell her that he came second. Actually, his mum and dad are here. He doesn't have to phone them.
No, he needs to occupy the table for virtually the remainder of the match. Be a chance. He's done it well. He's got them back at the top of the table.
That is a beautiful shot, Todd.
Might be a little bit straight here, but.
These two blokes are some of the nicest fellas in the game. You really wouldn't want to meet more lovely people than both Joe and Todd. Oh, that's unlucky.
That's not what he wants.
He rushed that a bit. I wonder if that time pressure's getting to him.
Needed that time to push that white back off the side cushion behind the spot. The pace was right, but unfortunately he didn't quite.
So with one ball left, he's now subject to the limitation of 15 hazards, i.e. pots or in-offs. So his tactic here must be to pot the red, 2 off the spot, 1 off the middle spot, get back down to the billiard spot at this end, the black spot, i.e.
Oops. Yeah.
Just
really, he should have been thinking about double balking as soon as possible there, because scoring off the red isn't going to be quick enough for Todd at this stage. He needs to get back where.
Well, I don't know.
With 3-ball billiards, not 2-ball billiards.
I don't know. I think it's faster to score off the reds. You know, just watching Ryan Thomason knock in that 99.
Joe's tried to knock possibly tried to knock that white just in front of the balk line, got the kiss, which...
Now, Joe doesn't have to move this. This is in a difficult position for Todd to go for. He can't resist it. He's going for it
I think
anyway.
Joe's decided he's already won, so he's had a bit of a mad go there. Very simple. If the scores were closer or there's longer time.
If the score was closer, he
to
wouldn't
push,
bother
just play a
disturbing
safety
that,
stroke to put his ball on the cushion, but he figures... he figures that he figures
he's wearing the Oceania crown.
Yeah. Just be a bit premature to be thinking that.
I'm not suggesting a coronation at this stage, but it ain't that far away.
Oh, what a good shot that is! Deep screwing off from a distance.
That's raw cue power.
Cue power, but he's really playing some desperate billiards now. He's got to play another very good shot with a long pot here to keep the break going. Oh, he's hit it beautiful, like Ryan Thomason.
Holy mackerel, that was Ryan-esque, wasn't it?
Yeah, stun run through into a beautiful position.
Thomasonian,
indeed. So that's beautiful stuff.
His problem is that the yellow ball's hanging over the pocket. At some point or another, he can't avoid potting that. So he's going to take as long as he can to do it, but at some point or another, that yellow's going down if he keeps the break alive.
It's possible that he might be able to sneak in behind it, and he's gone up to the balk cushion with that in mind. We can't really see from here.
Yeah, it looks too close into the pocket to me.
Maybe he can just sneak
maybe
his cushion first.
He can. Well done. But it hasn't helped.
Well,
it's helped. It's got it out of the pocket now, but it's
he would have loved to bring that out of balk, but he can develop this now. Bring the red over the centre pocket and then
ideally.
He can bring the red over the centre for a pot, and then he can
He
pot
really
that
wants,
to
he really
leave
wants a
himself.
pot so that he
Yeah.
can sit the in-off angle on the yellow.
Exactly. He should be able to develop this in the next shot or two.
But this is one of his specialties. He can control that red fairly well, very well, really, in terms of pace in the middle
That's
pocket.
good. That's perfect. That's a very good shot. He's hit that, you know, tries up and down the table, and he's lobbed it right over the middle pocket. So, that's a surprise.
No, it makes for an easy pot. Now he's got the pot.
Again, he's got two options.
Now where he positions his white ball will determine what line it travels and therefore where it finishes. So what he's doing now is calculating the half ball angle on the yellow, and then he's going to roll the red in and try and sit the half ball angle.
Yeah. Good to see Rod. Good to see Todd here, just playing steadily. He's not rushing. 12 minutes to go. He took his time then to check that angle, walked around to see it, and now he's just tried to push that up for a drop.
Oh, that's worked out pretty well, actually. Thank you.
Pretty well. Yeah, just put it over the middle pocket.
As Joe says, who's the lucky boy then? Okay, now he's worked it into drop cannon position.
Finally, some three-ball billiards, this is just what Todd needs to come back here.
11 minutes, 200, can be done. Can be done, but he needs to not miss again. Conservative is the cannon, aggressive is off the yellow. Todd's conservative.
Couple of options here, thick off this to bring it back towards the spot. Put it up just.
Ooh, that could have travelled another inch.
Another ball's width would have been perfect.
So 52.5 millimetres.
I would have said about that, yes.
This is going to be ugly, I think.
Yes, he didn't want that red to go in.
Now, the fact that Roger's reaching into his pocket, he's looking for a ball measurer to see whether that ball fits onto that spot. If it fits onto that spot, it's going to completely smother anything that's easy.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult, this.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Just too close.
Off the yellow, off the side.
Can,
no.
Massey? He's thinking about Massey? Go the Massey, Todd. No. Fine sneak. Touch aside.
This is a difficult shot, but if he gets it right and just lands nicely on her red, which he hasn't done, he's left himself on the top cushion.
Ugly, ugly, ugly.
Oh, he's in a lot of trouble here.
In so much bother here.
A lot of trouble.
What do you say in Melbourne? More trouble than a Werribee duck.
Oh, that's a beautiful recovery
That's a good
shot, but he's
but
still
again,
out of the woods.
He's just fighting this. The balls aren't coming for him, he's fighting them.
Thin cannon off the top cushion with a strong side to bring the right back towards the red. Look at this.
Turn.
What a beautiful shot that is. And just
Lovely shot.
What a good contact there to leave himself a straightish red.
So this isn't death in two then?
No, this is not.
This is...
Good part.
Good.
And now he's got a cannon to
recover them
off the top cushion to recover them. Good recovery from 3 consecutive difficult positions there. Yeah, nice.
Slip by.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Okay.
That's okay.
That's good.
Be happy with that.
So he's just going to drill a couple of reds while he thinks, I think. Close the gap. Close the gap to 150.
Preferred to have come a little bit
8
less
minutes.
fast than that.
8 minutes 34. Probably time will beat him. Even if he stays at the table, probably time will beat him. The only thing that could save him is if the ball's locked together on one of the rails and he ends up with nursery cannons, where according to Walter Lindrum it's possible to make 129.2
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Todd's...
I'm not sure that Todd's got that skill
skills
set.
are,
No, that's
are
right.
up to that. In fact, I'm sure they're not.
I've seen Minici do it. In fact, I've had it done against me in Inter Club.
Yeah.
He made 228 unfinished in 11 minutes and 15 seconds to beat me by 2 points.
Oh, Todd, you've just lost the
okay.
light there and now.
So now we can add 45 to whatever we see here, and that's the maximum that Todd can score with the limitation of 15 hazards.
Double walk here somehow.
Not but maybe not this shot.
Maybe not
It's
this
hard to
shot.
get there.
No, he's just playing that slow pot. What a good shot that is.
What a fabulous shot. So he's going to try and score a few more. So it has to be a red pot reading off from here.
There's a nice shot there of Todd's action. You could just see that little
The little
lift,
rise, yeah.
the little rise.
It's
on
characteristic. I don't think it throws
Yeah.
him off at all, but it's
No.
just a characteristic. There it is.
Matthew Bolton refers to that as Todd's glide.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So is that-
unlucky.
Okay, so that's really ugly there. So now he's got to try
Force
and
that.
hide the red.
Knock the red into walk. And just
Hide
get-
the red.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
I'll do that.
What the hell? I'm
Okay,
going to do
okay.
this.
Yeah.
It's worked for Joe.
Yeah.
Good
Nice-
break. What was the
nice
break in
break.
the end?
86.
86. There's a fight in
Fighting break
young
at-
Todd.
at that stage of the game, but he needed double that.
Todd's got a lot on his plate at the moment. His lovely wife is 35 weeks pregnant, and she's very generously let him come along and compete in this.
Yes. Unfortunately, we can't bring you the breaks because up here in the commentary booth, we can't hear the referee, and the breaks aren't on the live scoring system. So excellently set up by Dan, but I think those of you in the know have got a good picture of what's happening from the scores.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. That's a nice shot. So,
Well, it looks like we're coming to a conclusion for the Oceania Billiards. Of course, the under-21s snooker was played today too, where Louis Chan from New Zealand managed to get up against Ben Foster from Queensland, Australia. And we have the women's 6-red, the men's 6-red snooker.
yeah, there's a
The men's
truckload
open
of
snooker. There's
there's
a
a
festival
truckload
of
of
cue
snooker
sports.
still to come. There's a record 88 entries in the Oceania snooker. There's around about 60 odd in the 6-red snooker, and there's women's
There's some
snooker
very
and
exciting
women's
female
6-red
prospects,
snooker.
aren't there?
Yeah, so a whole lot of snooker happening
Young
here
Jess
at Mounties
Woods.
this week.
Jess is the world under-21 champion for Australia, or was when she was under-21. And also today I saw the great Kathy Parashis in here a day ahead of the competition. 12 times.
Jessica was Australia's 12th world champion in billiards and snooker.
Was she
Peter,
indeed?
you may not know that.
I didn't know that,
No,
Dave.
no,
Can you
no.
name all of the others?
Not just off the top of my head right now, but I
Okay.
could do that if I had more time. Interesting to note that 8 of those 12 have been from Victoria. You probably didn't know that either.
I didn't know that, but just for those of you who are listening, Dave was for many years the guiding light in VBSA, Australia's strongest state sporting body in cue sports, and I think the best administrator we've had in the sport.
Thank
And
you,
I'm only
Peter.
saying that because he's sitting beside me.
Thank you, Peter. I'll give you the $50 later.
Although I did ask you today, because he's had a reverse career. He's had a career as a referee, an administrator, and a player. And as I said, quarter-finalist here in this event. And I asked David, of those three, which did he think he was best at? And he said referee.
It's quite unusual, and usually The order of events
usually
is
you
the reverse.
graduate from
Right.
being a player into being a...
Yeah, as your game descends.
As you can no longer play, you still...
administration and refereeing.
Yep, that's it.
I've defied that trend.
And I think the last refuge is as patron, isn't it?
All right, we're just now in what in football terms would be called junk time.
Yeah.
2.5 minutes to go, and 120 odd the difference.
So expect some exhibition shots.
We might see a few shots with flair from Joe Minici here. Or not.
Or not. Or we might see Joe relax entirely and enjoy himself.
Yeah.
These two are great friends, Todd and Joe.
Yeah.
And I think the reality is that you can't, because of the longevity in the sport, you really can't be anything but friendly with your competitors, because you know you're going to be seeing them next week, next year, next decade.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
That was a typical Joe shot, soft screw. Hoping to develop the wide. Ended up covering the spot, so it was a really interesting one. He'll be trying to put this one behind the spot and just nick the red, but didn't quite do that.
Well, congratulations again to the Mounties Board of Directors on hosting such a wonderful event.
And of course, Peter, we mustn't forget to thank the members at Mounties here. They've given up their billiards room, their beautiful billiards room with 10 tables for 10 days.
Yep, it's a big ask, isn't it?
This championship we played, and that's a big ask. The club's been very generous in doing that.
Congratulations, Joe. There's the bell. Well, is that Joe's first Oceania?
No, it's his second. He did win the second, I believe.
Pre-Matthew.
Yep. Well, thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Dave. I've enjoyed myself.
And thank you, Dan, for the setup here. It's been terrific.
Yep.
Thanks to all our sponsors.
And there's Barry Jones, our president of the Oceania Billiards and Snooker Association, or Federation.
And we'll take you back to our studio.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. Enjoyed that.
All right. Hey, nice to see you. And well done. That's really awesome. Well done.
Tell me later tonight. First session, I thought I find it hard to find guys out. But I come
Are you in the middle to start with? Are you in the middle to start with? And then I'll fill with them balls afterwards. So we're just going to put you in the... That's it. We'll do it that way and then I'll get you to the usual. Righto guys. Now I think the idea is to get Todd, can you move? Yeah, I'm going to get the strong logo in. Oh! Okay. Okay, so I'll let you talk to the camera. Okay, great. Okay, so the official one. Get this camera rolling. Actually, I'm sorry. Oh, hang on, I wasn't ready actually. You were looking at the wrong camera. This camera. Alright guys, this one over here for a second.
Tell them what you need. This goes on the wall. No, this goes on the wall and when he leaves.
No, we're not finished. We're not finished because we haven't done the usual.
This is worse than a pro tournament. It's a pro tournament. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, very good. So this is the logo. Yeah, the logo. Yeah, you're right, Toddy. We have done tomorrow. What, 1, 2?
Yeah, guys, here we go. We'll have some of these. Just look at this. Yep. But I've got it in between. So, I've just got it rightio, here we go again. Everything else is but I'm going to put them on the screen.